stepped from the trees into a field where the long grasses had been flattened by sleeping deer. I looked up into the sky and saw a mirror image of the grass, black and yellow-gray whirls making a slow clockwise rotation like a hurricane. As I stared, the whirl began to move more quickly, drawing a darkness into its center until it resembled a vast striated eye that was all pupil, contracting upon itself yet never disappearing. I stared at it until a low buzzing began to sound in my ears. Then I ran. I didn't stop until I reached my driveway. When I finally halted and looked back, the eye was still there, turning. I never mentioned it to anyone. No one else ever spoke of seeing it. My sense of detachment grew when I started high school, but as my grades were good and my other activities furtive, my father never worried much about what I did. Our relationship was friendly, if distant. It was my Aunt Bridget who worried about me on the rare occasions she paid us a visit. Bridget was like my father, stocky and big-boned and red-haired. I resembled photos of my mother, tall and angular, narrow-hipped, my mother's soft features honed to a knife edge in my own. Pointed chin, up-tilted nose, dirty blonde hair, and mistrustful gray eyes. If I'd been a boy, I might have been beautiful. Instead, I learned early on that my appearance made people uneasy. There was nothing pretty about my androgyny. I was nearly 6 feet tall and vaguely threatening. I wore my hair long, but otherwise made no concessions to fashion. No makeup, no lipstick. I wore my father's white shirts over patched blue jeans or men's trousers I bought at the junior league shop. I wouldn't meet people's eyes. I didn't like people looking at me. It made me feel sick. It reminded me of that great eye above the empty field. "She looks like a scarecrow, Dad," Bridget said once when I was 16. She and her husband were in Commensic for a rare visit. "I mean, look at her." "I think she looks fine," my father said mildly. "She's just built like her mother was." "She looks like a drug addict," Bridget snapped. She was sensitive about her weight. "We see them out where we live." I pointed out to the bird feeder at the edge of our woods. "What, like the chickadees? We see them too," I said, and retreated to my room. Several months later, I had this dream. I was kneeling in the field where I'd seen the eye. A figure appeared in front of me. A man with green-flecked eyes, his smile mocking and oddly compassionate. As I stared up at him, he extended his hand until his finger touched the center of my forehead. There was a blinding flash. I fell on my face, terrified, woke in bed with my ears ringing. It was the morning of my 17th birthday. My father gave me a camera. I sat at the breakfast table, turned it in my hands, and remembered the dream. I saw my face distorted in the round glass of the lens, like a flaw, like an eye staring back at me. I took an introductory photography class in high school and was encouraged to take more. I never did. I quickly learned what I needed to know. I liked a slow lens. I liked grainy black and white film and never worked in color. I liked the detail work of creating my own photographic paper, of processing, then developing the film myself in the school photo lab. I loved the way the paper felt, soft and wet in the trays, then the magical way it dried and turned into something else, smooth and rigid and shining, the images a mere byproduct of chemistry and timing. I didn't care if the pictures were over or underexposed, or even if they were in focus. I liked things that didn't move, dead trees, stones. I liked dead things. The fingerless soft hand of a pheasant's wing, mouse skulls disinterred from an owl pellet, a cicada's thorax picked clean by tiny green beetles. I liked portraits of my friends when they were sleeping. I've always watched people sleep. When I occasionally babysat, I'd go into the children's rooms after they were in bed and stand there, listening to their breathing, waiting until my eyes adjusted to the soft glow of nightlight.